Hi students, this is a tutorial for how to create a personal logo. Now throughout the tutorial I'm going to be giving you instructions and I'm going to be showing you how to complete different steps for an example for a personal logo. The best way to complete this is to pause the tutorial after a step has been shown to you and then complete it. Okay, when you get started and you first open SketchUp, you'll see that this window will pop up and then you'll see over here, just where I'm moving the mouse, it says choose template. Click on that. There's lots of different templates that you can see, and the template that we're going to be using is the one that says woodworking millimeters. Now if it's not selected, select it, and then down here you'll click start using SketchUp. Okay, from here, at times you'll get some pop-ups like this one just here coming up. Just read them quickly. If it doesn't look important, you can click ignore so that you can get started. Now, as I was saying, throughout this tutorial, I want you to pause this tutorial after you are shown a step and then complete it. If you miss something, like the tool I've selected, which is where I'm moving the mouse over at the moment, and also the tools that are on the left-hand side of the screen, you can simply go back and watch it again, so you'll be able to understand and pick up how to use the tool. Down the bottom here where I'm moving the mouse is the measurements. Now you'll see, as we're using some of the other tools, that you'll be typing in dimensions into this bar, and I'll show you and you'll see how that will be working. When it comes to navigating around, on the mouse you've got the scroll wheel. Now I'm moving the scroll wheel now and it's zooming in and out on the screen. Some of the other things that you can do, if you hold the scroll wheel in, it allows you to orbit around throughout the window. Another function when it comes to moving and navigating around is when you hold the shift key, you might notice there's a little plus and minus symbol near the mouse at the moment. That's because I'm holding the shift key. And then when you hold the shift key and also hold down the scroll wheel, it allows you to pan around the screen, which is the hand symbol that you can see moving around. Okay, now your window may not have this toolbar that I'm moving the mouse over that you can see on the left-hand side of the screen. If you don't, you need to come up here and click on View, Toolbars, and then you'll need to select Large Toolset. Now I've just removed it there, and by clicking it, you can see that it comes back. Now this gives you more tools than what the Getting Started toolkit does, which is where I'm moving the mouse across the top of the screen. And that should give you enough options for the tools that you'll need for this tutorial. Up the top, you can see Window. Now, when it comes to changing the template or also changing the units of measurement, using Preferences and Model Info will allow you to do that. So if I select Preferences, you can see Template is here, and then I can change that. This is a handy feature because it will allow you to change the template if you need to without fully closing down the file. Same thing when I come up and I click on Model Info, you can see units just here, and where I'm moving the mouse it says millimeters. You could change it to inches, feet, millimeters, centimeters, or meters. And you can also change the format from decimal to fraction, for example, and also change the precision. We'll close that one. Okay, now before we get started on this tutorial, as with all assessments, you need to carefully check your assessment sheet and make sure you have an understanding of the requirements for that assessment and any limitations or restrictions. Okay, the first tool I want you to select is the rectangle tool. And just by clicking it once and moving the mouse over, it will snap automatically to the origin, which is the center of where the axes meet. Now, by clicking once on your mouse and then dragging it away, you'll see that you're able to move the mouse and a square or rectangle shape will be starting to appear. Now, if you pay attention in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen where it says dimensions, you'll see that by moving it around, these rapidly change and it indicates how big or small you're making it. Now, if you hold your finger on, instead of click and release, it's not going to be able to be moved around. And as soon as you release that, and I'll show you as an example, so now I have clicked and I have held my finger on. Now, if I was trying to get a precise measurement, I'd need to move the mouse to try and get to that precise measurement, which is very hard. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and you can see again that it's snapped onto the origin. I'm going to click once and drag out, and then I'm going to type in 100. Now notice as I'm typing in 100, this is coming onto the bottom right hand side of the screen. I hit 100, comma, 100, and then enter. Now it may seem really small on the screen, but in actual size, it is to scale. To get a better view of the square that we've just created, the tool that I've just moved the mouse over, called Zoom Extent, by clicking that, it will take you to a better view of the file or of the shape that you've just created. Now this is a very important tool because if you get lost within your file, by clicking that, it will always take you back to a view which will show you everything on the file. Okay, so I've started off with 100 by 100, which as you know is our dimensions for this assessment. Now from here, I'm going to grab the tape measure tool just here, and I'm going to come up to the top, and you'll see that it has snapped onto what is the midpoint of this line just here, and it will go the aqua color or the light blue color. Now I'm going to click once and come down, and I'm going to get you to type 5, enter. Now this line that you can see across the screen is known as a construction line, and they're very handy for being accurate with the type of shape that you're looking to create. I'm now going to come over and I'm going to come onto this edge line. I'm going to click once and I'm going to go to the center, which is going to be 50 mils, and you can see that 50 mils on the screen. I'm going to click again. Okay, from here I'm going to come up to the tool called 2-point arc. I'm going to click on this corner just here once and then click onto the center just here, and then you can see I'm going to be able to create an arc. Now I'm going to zoom in a bit and come up, and I'm going to put my arc into the center, and you'll see that it says online, so I know it's on that construction line. And then I'm going to repeat on the other side. Online, very good. Okay, I'm now going to come from this corner down to the bottom corner just here, and again you can see depending on which way you'd be wanting to go, you can bring your arc out. Now I'm going to bring it this way, and I'm going to type in 10, enter, and then I'm going to repeat. And keep your eye, you can see in the bottom right hand corner, again you'll see the numbers coming and going. As long as you've clicked once and that you can move it freely, as soon as you start to type your numbers in, and our number is 10, and enter, you know it will be precise. Okay, I'm now going to select the erase tool, and I'm going to get rid of a few lines that I don't want, and you'll see that my shape for my personal logo is starting to come together. I'm also going, actually I won't get rid of the construction lines just yet. I'm now going to come over to the push-pull tool. I'm going to select that and come over to the surface, and you'll see that the surface has been highlighted. So when I move it over, so that tells me that the surface can be pushed or pulled. I'm going to click once and drag it up, and now I'm turning it into a 3D object. I'm going to drag it up and I'm going to push 5, enter. And now you can see that I have a 3D object. I can look at it from underneath, on top, and I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I now come to the erase tool and I'm going to erase these construction lines. Okay, the next tool that I'm going to be using is called the offset tool. And again, when I click on it and then come onto the surface I want to offset, it will highlight. Now, from here, I'm going to click offset and I'm going to drag it towards the edge, and then I'm going to click 4, enter. Now I'll show you that again. In the center, I'm going to take it towards the edge, push 4, enter. I'm now going to come over to the push-pull tool, and I'm going to move to the center. Now, because I've put this shape, I could push-pull this part and it will come up, or I could push-pull the bottom part and it will come up or down. Now, I'm going to go to the center, I'm going to click and I'm going to take it down, and you'll notice in the bottom right hand corner it says distance minus 2.5. Now I'm just going to go 2, enter, and you can see that it has pushed down this middle surface and it's pushed it down 2 millimeters. Okay, from here I'm now going to come over to the 3D text tool. I'm going to select that, and then you'll see from here you can change fonts that you like to find one that you feel suits what you like the look of. I'm just going to select this one quickly. You can see that you've got a few other options that you can select. And then enter the text. I'm just going to put my last name. Now, it now says place. And it's important that you place it on the face. Now you can see, because I have it on the face, and you'll see that the little icon comes up and says on face. Now you can move it to different locations around your design. I'm just going to leave mine there. And zoom in, and you can see that if I'm happy to leave that there, that's going to be what I'm going to be having for my personal logo. Now when you come up to the paint bucket to add some colour, you can click on the paint bucket, and then over here where I'm moving the mouse down, you'll see that there are lots of different colours. Now in this drop down section just here, I can change from colours over to brick, cladding and siding. I could change it to stone, and they show you different stone options. I could change it to metal, etc. So I'm just going to go with a colour. And the colours I'm going to go with, I might select a nice green. And I might make this surface green, this surface green. And underneath as well. Then I'm going to come back up, I'm going to pick another colour. I'd go with the darker grey, make this one grey, this grey, etc. from here. And then you can see that this is a basic example of